Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Tapping into Life podcast. It is so good to know that each and every one of you are continuing the journey to self discovery, healing, and identifying your own spiritual existence. My name is Matthew B. I am your life coach for another episode of the Tapping into Life podcast. So come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope you have your snack. I hope you have something to take notes with if you need to take notes, because this is going to be yet again another informative episode. I hope each and every one of you have had a great day. I hope each and every one of you have been happy, prosperous, successful, joyful, kind, loving. I hope each and every one of you are doing well on today. So come on in, come on in, come on in. I am going to dive right into it, but before we get started, please like, subscribe, and share share, tag a friend, tell a friend that, hey, you got to check this podcast out. It's formative, it's motivating, it's full of knowledge and wisdom. If you want to heal, take a look at the podcast. If you want to identify your true spiritual existence, take a look at the podcast. So come on in, come on in, come on in. We're going to get started, and the topic is a topic that I did not write out. Right, 9 times out of 10, I write out the outline of the podcast. So this is one of 3 episodes out of 20 something episodes that I have not written out. But I feel that this needs to be spoken from the heart rather than written out. So that's why I decided not to write it out. And that's why, we're going to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to have that spiritual conversation. Because I want each and every one of you to understand where we are on our own individual paths that we call life, right? So come on in, get comfortable. It is good to know each and every one of you are investing in yourselves. It is good to know each and every one of you are, investing in your soul. So the topic is, below my name, the topic is the thrown away. The thrown away. So the reason why this topic is big for me and important for me is because being thrown away, I see it a lot. Being thrown away, people are constantly being thrown away. People are constantly being exiled. People are constantly being canceled. And a lot of the reasons why these people are being thrown away, a lot of the reasons why these people have been exiled, a lot of the reasons why these people have been canceled has nothing to do with wrong, has nothing to do with wrong. Now, I'm not talking about the ones who are just flat out speaking in hate. I'm not talking about the ones who have been so disrespectful and hateful towards certain religions, certain lifestyles, certain communities, certain genders. I I'm not talking about those people because I feel that those people need to be sat down and left alone by themselves for a season. I'm talking about the ones who wake up in the morning, decide to choose to be themselves. I'm talking about the ones who wake up in the morning and stand 10 toes down in whatever it is that they believe in. I'm talking about the ones who fail to meet man's criteria or meet the expectations that society has set for them. I'm talking about the ones who are broken because they've been thrown away. Now, if some of you don't know, and I'm pretty sure at this point you know that I call it down the middle. Some of you need to understand that if you feel thrown away, if you feel rejected, if you feel abandoned because somebody did not see it for you, I'm gonna need y'all to understand you're not dead. Yeah, you're not dead. You're still living. What happened is somebody did not see it for your existence because you did not follow the criteria that they set for you. So because you did not follow that, they threw you away. Because you did not follow man's criteria and society's rules, they tossed you to the side. They left you out to dry. They left you standing alone. What I need for those who have experienced this to understand, you are not dead. You are not dead. You're well alive. You're well alive. So I need y'all to pay close attention. Because some of you are asking, why was I thrown away? Why was I chastised the way I was chastised? Why was I abandoned the way I was abandoned? Why am I here by myself? And the very people who I've done so much for, they're nowhere to be found. Some of you have constantly been there for people. Some of you have given the shirt off your back for people. Some of you have prayed and fasted for people. Some of you have gone to the edge of the earth to make sure somebody or some group of people was able to make it to the next day, the next moment of their lives, the next season in their journey. But when it's time for them to be there for you, you realize that they're nowhere to be found. You realize that you've been thrown away. I'm going to share this with y'all, right? There was a well-known bishop There was a well-known bishop who experienced this. And some of you know who I'm talking about. But for those who don't, his name was Carlton Pearson. Very well-known bishop. And researching his works and researching the things that he had done for all of those that he have touched. Now, I'm talking about someone who, before I had the assignment that I have, before I was chosen to carry out a particular assignment that I have, as it pertains to my life calling, he began to do that. So this individual, and I'm not going to go deep into it, in your spare time, I want you all to research that, but I want to stay focused on the topic. This man was thrown away, tossed to the side, left out in the sun to dry, simply because he was doing his life calling. There was no scandal about this man. There was no hiccups about this man. The only issue was his perception on a particular part of the Christian faith was different. It was different from the next person. It was different from the masses that universally believed. And so, because he spoke his different views as it pertained to that small fraction of the totality of Christianity, this man was exiled. This man was abandoned. This man was darn near nailed to the cross. This man was thrown away. And so, in his very, very last interview before he transitioned from this earth, his very last interview, the question to him was asked, why do you feel that you're in the state of transition? Because he passed away because of cancer. And he was asked, why are you in this state of, why do you think that that the cancer came back? And the answer that he gave, was simply, because I was so hurt. I did not come back from what was done to me. And in the midst of what was being done to me, the very people whom I thought would have been there, whom I thought would have called and checked on me, who I thought would have encouraged me to keep going and motivated me to continue, these people were nowhere to be found. And if I can say humbly, what he did not realize during all of whatever it is he was going through. What he didn't realize was a lot of the people whom he had touched, influenced, inspired, helped get to where they wanted to be. A lot of those people would have never returned the favor. It did not matter if his differences remained in silence, and no one ever thought that he had different views. These same people still would have not returned the favor. So I share that to say, if you feel that you have been thrown away, you are not dead. And I bring this to each and every one of you because I am staring at a moment that happened 4 years ago. A moment in my life that happened 4 years ago. And when this moment happened, mind you, I didn't do anything to inflict pain on somebody. So it's not like I was out there being mean and hateful and hurtful. No, no. But at this moment, as I began to heal, at this moment, as I began to understand, at this moment, as I began to get up out of my woes and my sorrows, at this moment, the spiritual side of me kicked in. And for those who know where I'm coming from, when you're so in tune with who you are and you're so in tune with your spiritual atmosphere have ears. We got to understand that your spiritual atmosphere have ears. It hears what's going on inside of you, and it hears what's going on the outside of you. That's why a lot of our spiritual atmospheres are so tainted, because we have heard a lot of things. And so with your spiritual ears, if you tap into the magnitude of what exactly your spiritual ears can hear, you begin to understand that your spiritual ears hear not just what's being said by your vocal mouth, but what's being said by another's spiritual mouth. Your spiritual ears hear spiritual voices. And that explains a lot of things. And so what happened was, and not a lot of people know, but they're going to find out today. In the midst of me needing each and every one of them, all I'm going to say to those people, and they know who they are, is that I heard you. See, when you get thrown away, 9 times out of 10, you're just living your life. You're living your life just like the next person. You're doing exactly the same thing that the next person is doing. The only difference is when you don't do things exactly how they do it. Then it's a problem. One of the saddest moments in my spiritual journey is seeing that so many people have been thrown away by simply being themselves, by simply waking up in the morning and have a different belief, by simply making a mistake, by simply being a human. That is one of the saddest moments that I have ever had to acknowledge. Why are we so quick to throw people away is the question. Because I want to know that too. I want to understand why it is so quick, why we are so quick to throw people away. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know the answer to that. The reason why we're so quick to throw people away is because we see something in the next person that we wish we had. That's one reason. There are people who see, we're going to divide it up, group A, group B. Group B are the people that's being thrown away. One reason why we throw people away is because group A over here sees something in group B. And they get in their feelings because group A lacks the capacity to possess what group B has over here. So I'm going to do what I need to do to take you down. If I can't have what you have, if I can't have that courage, if I can't have that individuality, if I can't have that happiness, if I can't have that confidence, if I can't have that love, if I can't have that joy, if what I can't have, if I can't have it, then you can't. A lot of reasons why people throw other people away simply because of jealousy. Untamed emotions. And jealousy stems from untamed emotions. So because I can't have it, then I'm going to make sure that you don't have it. I'm going to do everything in my power to take everything from you so that you won't possess what I don't have. When that's the reason people throw someone else away, the person that's throwing the other person away, sees power in the person that they're throwing away. And for the person that's being thrown away, in this situation, you are more powerful than you think. You are so powerful in your individuality. You're so powerful in your stance. You are so powerful in your will to live on this earth that you make people mad simply by being yourself. Another reason Why people throw people away is because a difference in beliefs. I never thought that people would throw people away because of differences in beliefs. When I tell y'all, sometimes I wish that I was still a kid and I didn't have to experience all this childish adult behavior, because I understood it better as a child. I understood, oh, well, if you don't like cheeseburgers, then you can't be my friend. If you don't like sports, you can't be my friend. If you don't like video games, you can't be my friend. That's some childish stuff. But I don't understand it as an adult, looking at other adults act like children. If you don't believe in what I believe in, instead of having a conversation or just being about my business, I'm going to cancel you. I'm going to exile you. I'm going to throw you away. Because the last time I checked, you can't govern what somebody believes in. You can't dictate someone's belief system. You can't sit up here and say, well, if you don't believe in what I believe, then I'm going to cancel you. If you don't believe in what I believe, I'm going to throw you away. Let me tell y'all something. For those who've been thrown away, you are not dead. And I'm going to tell y'all something about when people get thrown away. And come on in to the people, come closer to the people who've been thrown away. Because Matthew was going to tell you some things. You do realize that when people throw you away, that's life's blessing. That's a blessing. I am honored that somebody or some people threw me away. Here's why. Because they saw something in me that they don't have in themselves. They saw something that is the courage and the power and the ability to stand 10 toes down in who I am. They didn't see it for me because who I am as a spiritual existence surpasses their expectations. It's not that you failed somebody's expectation. It's because who you are surpasses somebody's expectation. What we need to understand for those who've been thrown away, and I had to go through this moment and realize that. For those who've been thrown away, mankind's, society's expectations and criteria of who you should be to be accepted is beneath your spiritual existence. That is beneath you. That is below you. You have rose above what mankind wants you to be. You have rose above the unwritten rules of society. You have rose so far above that mankind would say, you know what? I don't see it for that person. Well, yeah, I understand why you don't see it for that person, because that person is on a level higher than your way of thinking. That person is on a level higher than your way of comprehension. That person is speaking a spiritual language that you lack the capacity to understand. So, for those who've been thrown away, I say, raise up, because you're not dead. And understand that who you are as a individual surpasses humankind's criteria and mankind's unwritten rules of who they think you should be. It is not your fault that they lack that damn capacity. It is not your fault that they can't put two and two together. It is not your fault that who you are surpasses what they want you to be. Who you are is beneath mankind's unwritten rules and how they want you to be. Understand why they don't see it for you. Understand why they have no use for you. Understand why they threw you away. They threw you away because they had no use for you. The reason why they had no use for you is because you possess something greater than their ability to utilize. What they want you to be suppresses who you are. Understand that the moment you woke up and you decided, you know what, I'm going to walk in my truth. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be my own individual self. At that moment, that's when you pissed them off. At that moment, that's when they started looking at you sideways. At that moment, that's when they were plotting to throw you away. But understand this, they can't do nothing but throw you away. They can't kill you. They can't kill you. They may shun you away from the cool kids table. That's all you got. That's all you got. But for those who have been thrown away, understand that life will allow that to happen. And I quote life. Life will allow that to happen for you to understand the very existence that they demonized in you is the very existence that is more powerful than what they could ever imagine. They don't understand you. You got to realize that a spiritual existence is not defined by man's rules. A spiritual existence cannot fully be defined. If you are on your path of self-discovery, if you are on your path of learning more about you as you get older, if you wake up in the morning and understand that every day I'm learning more and more and more about myself, if you wake up in the morning and accept the fact that I don't know everything about me, what makes you think that mankind could set rules, that mankind could set expectations and criteria about something they don't even know? They got mad at you because they couldn't touch you. They got mad at you because you embraced something that they did not want you to embrace. They got mad at you because who you are, just the mere existence of who you are, surpass the power of their rules that they had, but that they thought they had on you. Understand that. Understand that. For those who have been thrown away, baby, we something great. For those who have been thrown away, baby, we something powerful. For those who have been thrown away, we can look up and down our arms and our shoulders, and we know, and we come to the realization that we ain't nobody's puppet. Mankind wants to play puppet master. Let them go and play with Pinocchio. Mankind's rules, how somebody wants you to be. They can't touch spirituality. These same people, they can't touch who individuals are. They can't touch that. So if they realize that they can't touch it, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to cancel you out. You know what we're going to do? We're going to leave you out to dry. You know what we're going to do? We're going to throw you away. But I say this to you, what man has thrown away on this earth, God himself held you precious to his heart before they threw you away, when they thrown you away, well, when they threw you away, and after they threw you away. Understand the actions of somebody throwing somebody else away. For those who have been thrown away, understand when people do that to you, it says a lot about who they are. It says a lot about who they are. They lack security. They lack ability. They lack capacity. They lack knowledge. They lack wisdom. They lack discipline. Understand that. I want you to get full off of that. I want you to get full off of that. And just that alone, the first 38 minutes of this episode, I want you to get full off of that. And for those who've been thrown away simply by making a mistake, get up. You made the mistake. Ain't nothing you can do. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put it to you like this. If you make a mistake, if you wake up in the morning and you decide to make a move that was the wrong move and it landed you in a situation that caused you to be in prison, that caused you to be to have an addiction, that caused you to be caught up in something, some way, shape, or form. Here's what I say to you: when you are thrown away from a mistake you made, those same people who threw you away, that you thought was there for you, that you thought was going to have your back, that you thought was going to pray on your behalf, that you thought was going to fast on your behalf, that you thought would have stopped at nothing to make sure that you were mentally sane and you were emotionally stable and that you were spiritually good. Those people, that revelation says that they were never meant to be in your close circle. They were never there for you because they loved you. They were there to see exactly what they can get from you. Because sometimes we got to be thrown away to understand that who we are suppresses. I mean, not suppresses, but sometimes we have to understand who people want us to be suppresses who we are. Sometimes we gotta understand, baby, y'all come on. Sometimes we gotta understand that when we get thrown away, that is a clear revelation by way of a blessing. Because now we understand that who we are has now dominated what mankind wants us to be. Who we are has stopped. Because get in tune with your spirit. Get in tune with your spiritual existence, because sometimes your spiritual existence is kicking ass and you don't even know it. Sometimes your spiritual existence is protecting you from hurt and trauma and you don't even know it. Sometimes your spiritual existence is saying, nah, sugar, not today. So if you have been thrown away, raise up and understand this. When you are thrown away, you decide to get up. You decide to raise up with your head held high and say, hey, y'all threw me away. Okay, cool. But I'm going to keep living my life. It pisses those people off. It makes them madder than what they were when they realized that they couldn't control you. True story. Worked for a hotel. Worked for a hotel. The owners wanted me to be their puppet. Wanted me to be their puppet because they saw something in me that they could utilize to do their dirty work. Wanted me to be their puppet. And I said no. My actions went against what they wanted me to do. And I said no. Said to myself, no. General manager at the time, she did what she did. And it wasn't right. But homegirl did what she did. So I'm the assistant general manager at the time. So I'm next in line to be the general manager. Director of operations said, you know what, Matthew, we don't think that you're ready. Okay. All right. So they went 30 days without a general manager. In 30 days, there's no general manager. Who is coming? Who are the employees coming to for direction and guidance? The next in line. So that would have been me. In 30 days, to this date, in 30 days, the time that y'all did not have a general manager, well, the time that they did not have a general manager, the service scores was the highest that they've ever been since they bought that hotel. And to this date, those scores are still the highest. Because people did not see it for me. But I still rose up. And I still carried on. Worked at another hotel. They said I couldn't do it. They started, because I questioned stuff that didn't make sense. They said I couldn't do it. Highest scores at that hotel had seen in 2 years. Worked at another hotel. New general manager comes and say, hey, I want you to do things like this. And I said, you know what? That goes against the brand standard of the hotel. We could actually lose the entire name of our hotel. Said I didn't know what I was doing. Said I wasn't going to be there any longer. This is what I'm hearing. Said I wasn't going to be there any longer. Said I didn't know how to run my department. So after he said all of that, QA inspection comes. And that's when whatever the brand, whatever company, that's when they have a representative to make sure that we're in brand standards. QA inspection came. Both QA inspections since I had took over that position. The first one was an 86. The last one was a 98. Why? That 98 was the highest that hotel had ever seen since 2010. Understand that the moment they throw you away and say you can't do something, the moment that they don't see it for you, when you decide to keep going, they can't touch you. You were powerful when they threw you away. The biggest mistake that they could have ever done was throw you away, because the moment they throw you away, understand that now you rise up in a form that they don't know. Now you rise up in a different version of you that they don't know, they don't understand, they can't comprehend, so they don't know what move you're making. Understand, when you are thrown away, being thrown away is the revelation for you to tap into who you truly are, for you to tap into your self-discovery, for you to tap into your healing, for you to tap into the life that was spoken into you, and understand that the life you believed that you should live by mankind's definition has nothing on the reality of who you are. So if they want to throw you away, let them throw you away. Yeah, some of y'all might be hurt, because sometimes those people that throw you away are your friends. Sometimes the people that throw you away are your family. Sometimes the people that throw you away are your loved ones. Sometimes those people that throw you away are those ones that you can trust. But understand, baby, listen. If they throw you away, they made a grave mistake, because the moment you rise up, they really ain't going to be able to see you now. The moment you rise up and you understand that what you are now seeing in yourself, they already saw it in you. That's why they threw you away, because they couldn't touch what you have in you. It was too powerful. When they tried to touch it, it burned their hands. So they had no other choice but to throw you away, because they knew the very powerful existence of you would level the expectations they had for you, would level their alternative motives, would level them milking you for everything that you got. Understand, y'all, that being thrown away does not mean that you're dead. Being thrown away is simply a revelation, a blessing by way of a revelation, highlighting the fact and shining light on the fact that you are more powerful. Sometimes life allows us to be thrown away, because life wants us to understand that who it is in life, as life, surpasses what they want you to be. Raise up. Raise up. Because the moment you raise up, like I said, you're going to be speaking in a language they don't understand. You're going to be speaking in a spiritual language they don't understand. You're going to be walking in a way that they don't understand. You're going to be going through things, and they think that it's going to take you out, but it's just merely a breeze. They're going to not know. Lost my train of thought. They're going to not understand the things that you possess. They study how powerful you were. They study how powerful you were. That's why they threw you away. But when you raise up, what they see, they're not going to be able to comprehend. Understand this. What they see, they're not going to be able to comprehend. Why? Because you have tapped into something greater than the power that they saw in you that made them mad to the point that they threw you away. Understand, being thrown away is more of a blessing than it is a curse. And for those who decided they want to throw people away for whatever reason or another, for those who decided that they want to sit people down for one reason or another, understand this. The worst thing that you can do is throw somebody away, because according to what I believe, and this is just what I believe, the power of the tongue speaks life and death. Whoever loves its power shall partake in its fruits. The moment you curse somebody by the way that you handle things, the moment that you curse somebody by throwing them away, although it's a blessing unto the person that's being thrown away, it's a curse unto you. Why? Because the way you handle it. Power of the tongue speak life and death. Sometimes your soul do more talking than your mouth. And yes, sometimes your physical mouth speaks what the soul feels. But a lot of times your soul do a lot more talking than your mouth. Sometimes your emotions do a lot more talking than your mouth. Sometimes your spirit does a lot more talking than your mouth. Sometimes your mind does a lot more talking than your mouth. So when they say the power of the tongue speaks life and death, sometimes your lips could be remaining shut, in your mind, your emotions, your spirit, and your soul staying 10 toes down and flapping them gums. And if it speaks death, it speaks a fruit of negativity. It speaks a fruit of toxic behavior. It speaks a fruit of hate. But the moment you speak that fruit, you do realize you don't speak it in the atmosphere. Not only do you speak it in the atmosphere of the person that you are throwing away, you speak it into your own atmosphere, your own spiritual atmosphere. And for those who have paid attention to previous episodes, what feeds the soul? The spiritual atmosphere. So now you're going to have to eat your words and eat the fruit. So when you start getting thrown away, and people cast you to the side, raise up, my babies. And when I mean my babies, I'm dumb babies that have been thrown away as kids. Raise up. Raise up my brothers and my sisters. Raise up my kings and queens. Raise up to my elders. Raise up. I'm not just talking to my generation. I'm talking to all generations. If you ever experience being thrown away, baby, have your moment and cry. Raise up tomorrow. Because at that moment, what you think is the most hurtful thing is actually the best thing that happened to you because of what your spirit is revealing to you, what life is revealing to you, and how it's going to take you further than what you originally were. It is so good to know that each and every one of you took the time to invest in another episode of the Tapping Into Life podcast. Not for me, not to benefit me, but to benefit you. I am so glad that each and every one of you took the time to watch. I am so glad. Remember, be who you are. Remember to continue to tap into that journey. Continue to tap into that life that was originally spoken into you. Remember, stay focused and keep your head in the game. And until next time, remember to always tap in. I will see you all next week.